So why don't more physicians go into private practice? That's what we're here to answer today. Welcome, I'm Dr. Raval, 36 years in private practice now. And through 3 simple business terms, I'm going to explain to you why many physicians choose to work for someone rather than to build their own wealth. So number one, the term I'm going to use is loss aversion. So loss aversion is you're more afraid to lose that $1,000 than to make $10,000. So if we look at being paid a salary when you get out of your residency or fellowship, you take a job, sometimes to pay off debt, that's a great choice, but 5, 6, 7 years, 10 years into that, why are you choosing to stay there? So if you break down what you make into an hourly rate, depending on your specialty, it always comes to about $350 an hour, or maybe less, maybe a little more. But $350 an hour is what you're getting paid. Depending on whether you're doing surgery, maybe a little more. Now I want you to look at something else. If you kept 100% of what you were making that hour, which means you were doing the billing and you were keeping that, I'm going to tell you right now, it's multiples of that number because you're not splitting it in a group. You're not using it for things that you may need that other specialty members need, and you're not using it for a group malpractice rate. So you are more comfortable with making that $350 an hour rather than investing, let's just say for argument's sake, $35,000 an hour or $3,500 an hour. Loss aversion, that's what you're afraid of. That's what a lot of physicians choose to work for someone else because they're afraid they will lose that little amount rather than gain that big amount. Number 2, confirmation bias. When we accept a job, we tend to go to our family members, our friends, people who've known us. They're like, oh, congratulations, you got this job. I'm glad you made this choice. I'm glad you're moving here. You can move on with your life. You can pay off your debt. What we don't do, that's confirmation. What we don't do is ask other people what they would do, meaning other mentors, other physicians we've relied on, other friends of the family, business people, and say, here are my choices. Give me the pros and cons. What would you do seeing what you have achieved? We don't look for the people that go against our choices. We have a confirmation bias. We only go to people who say, Ray, you are great. You made all the great choices. So this holds a lot of physicians back from doing their own thing. They don't look at the pros and cons. They just look at the pro. I'm going to make money for the first time in all these years. Third thing, sunken cost fallacy. So you're working for somebody 7 to 10 years now. Of course, you've moved on with your life. Perhaps you have a home, you are married, perhaps you have kids, perhaps you want to travel. And so we keep staying with this group or people that we work for because they keep paying us to go with a lifestyle that we're comfortable with. Instead of, if I change, I might have a year or so of uncomfortableness, but what can I build? So this is a sunken cost. You're putting all your time and energy into building up a group practice or someone else's practice rather than your own. You are sinking time and effort into something that is not fully yours. Sunken cost fallacy. It's not always the best choice. So I want you to think about money in a different way. Money isn't about money. Money, once you have it, is about freedom. And the first choice that people make when they have freedom is the freedom of choice. Meaning, if I don't want to work today, I don't have to. If I want to work this way today because I have some interesting cases I want to write about, I can do that. If I want to spend the morning going to my child's recital, I can do that. Freedom, money is freedom, and freedom is choice. And if you can't make those choices in your current employment, then you are giving up more than you're gaining. And I want you to think about that very closely, no matter where you are in life. turns out I would look at not how much it costs me, but what has not been met. Meaning, look at where you are more critically. Instead of looking at it as I'm making money and if I leave, it's going to cost me this much. And I'm going to give up this much. Instead, I want you to look at what are the needs that are not met while you're employed, and make a list and see how you can get from here to there. So I hope this is helpful to you guys. Thinking about money as freedom and freedom as time. And those 3 business elements that you should evaluate where you're working: loss aversion, confirmation bias, and sunken cost fallacy, and evaluate what you're doing with those 3 things in mind. Hope this is helpful. Dr. Po Raval. Subscribe, join our community.